Welcome everyone. In this video we'll be taking a look at installing the Lian Li Unifan SL INF wireless fans. These are 120mm fans, and we have one fan here, we have 3 fans here, and we have 3 LCD fans here that we'll be taking a look at and installing. Let's see what's inside. So this is what comes in the box. We'll start with the LCD fans. And so with the LCD fans, we have 3 of those. This is the front of the fan. You see it has a nice large LCD. It's actually quite big. This is the back of the fan. And on the sides, you have these nice metal brackets. And where the fans connect, there's these connections here on this side. And then the connections are different on the other side. Okay? And in order to connect them, what you do is, you would take 2 fans, like this, and you essentially would align the top and the bottom, like so. It's going to be a little bit offset, and then after that you just push and it clicks into place. And that's, you can just click it off. Again, you align them, just aligning them, and then click them into place. That easy. Okay, so I'm gonna connect the third one. Very easy connection. Okay, all right, so you get 3 of those fans. You also get the wireless controller, and this controller is a smaller controller than what you get for the non-LCD fans, but we'll get to that. And this one can only be connected with a USB, which I do not like. That's okay, because each one of these controllers can connect up to 10 channels. So you can connect up to 10 of these receivers. And so this essentially could connect all the fans we have here. You don't need to have more than that. However, this is only a USB connection. And so you have to plug that into a USB on your computer, as opposed to plugging it into the motherboard. The other controller that comes with the non-LCD fans has both options, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, but this is your controller. You're gonna need that to connect your fans wirelessly to your computer. We also have some mounting screws. And this is if you're daisy chaining some fans together and you need additional power, you can connect that to a SATA connection and provide additional power to those fans. And then this is the wireless receiver. So whatever the controller here sends out, the receiver can take that information and deliver it to the fans, either RGB or fan speed, right? So this receives the information, okay? And it has a USB as well as a 4-pin fan connection. And you have some instructions that come with or different literature that comes with this LCD ones. Okay, let's focus on the non-LCD 3 fans. So let's take a look at those. In this case, what you get is, this is the front of the fan, the back of the fan. It's not as solid as the other one, and they're quite less heavier than the other ones, than the LCD ones. This is what one of the connections looks like. This is what the other connection looks like. So it looks like it's symmetrical on both sides. Okay? And so now let's daisy chain them. Let's peel this off because it's getting stuck in between. There we go. Really nice. Okay, so let's connect them. So to connect the fans, again, similar approach as the other one. You take the 2, put them close together like this, and then just snap them together. Yeah, so the orientation matters. It won't work like this because, so you want to make sure that you align them. Put them, just snap into place. There we go. Get the other one. Alright, so again like this. So this is what it looks like after it's connected. So very nice. Let's see what comes here. Again, you get a wireless controller for those 3 fans, but this is nice because you have the USB option, but you also can plug it directly into the motherboard, which I like better. And then here you have a USB plug as well as a 4-pin fan speed plug. Okay, and now let's see, you also have the mounting screws. Again, you also, if you're daisy chaining some fans, you have some additional power from SATA that can provide it to those fans. The wireless controller looks the same. And what is this for? Well, essentially, this is important to cover some of the exposed pins. For example, these pins right here are exposed, and they can short circuit the fans. And to prevent that, what you do is you take this cover, you take this little bracket, and you align it with this hole here, and then just slide it forward. And that will cover those fans, so it keeps it protect, no short circuiting. Okay, and to take it out, just push down, and it comes right off. Okay. It also comes with this. I'm not exactly sure what these are. Let's see. Yeah, so these are some sort of a plastic covers. You can peel that off and probably adhere it on the side of the fans because it looks like it has the same shape. So is this right here. You can see there's, and then the bottom one is the same shape as that. So I'm not sure why you would need this, but yeah, it's here. And again, some literature that comes with this product. And by the way, you have 3 of these. So for all 3 fans. Okay. And finally, the single fan is what it looks like. Front, back, and then you have the sides. Other side, top connection, and bottom connection. Okay. And the single fan also comes with a wireless receiver. It comes with mounting screws, and it also comes with a protective cover for wires, so you don't get it short circuited. One thing to note is that one of these receivers can handle no more than 4 of these fans in a row like this. Okay. And what I mean is, so let's connect the receiver. So to connect the receiver, what you do is, first, you need to decide on which side you want it. Do you want it going this way? Do you want it, if you want it, let's say going this way, by the way. So if you look at the connections, you can see that this is a smaller pin and a larger pin. So you have a smaller hole and a larger hole. So to align it, you will need to put the larger pin in the larger hole. So let's do that. So I'm gonna align it. Push down and then push it towards me this way. And that locks it in place, as you can see. Okay? Take it off, you just push that way, and it comes right off. Really easy. Okay, and with this connection, I can put up to 4 fans, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this receiver will be able to provide information to all 4 fans, but it won't be able to do it with more than 4 fans. Okay, just for your information. All right. Another thing to note, if you're, let's say you wanted to switch the orientation, so for cable management, you could switch the orientation of this cable so it's coming out of this side. And to do that, take the top off, you just pop it off like this. And then you can just go like that, switch it on the other side, like so. All right, and then you just clip it back on. Like so. Okay, so you can switch the orientation of this cable. All right, so we're gonna be installing the fans in a Lian Li case here, the Evo XL. and we're going to be putting the single fan here, the 3 non-LCD fans here, and the LCD fans will be here. And everything will be blowing in, and these are reverse blade. And so what that means is, if you have a reverse blade fan, the air will be blowing. So if this is the front of the fan, and this is the back of the fan. For a reverse blade fan, you have the air blowing in this direction, while for a normal fan, it will be blowing in that direction. Because I'm going to be blowing air into the case, it's more aesthetically pleasing for this side to be inside the case, and so this will be pointing this way. So I'm blowing air into the case because this is a reverse blade. My other fans are also reverse blade, so everything will be blowing into the case, and it will be with this face. All right, let's get started. So the first ones we're going to install are the 3 non-LCD fans down here. So let's take a look at that. So first, in case you're wondering, as I was, what these are, and I'm thinking this is essentially screen protectors for the glass over here. And so I'm going to clean this glass up, and I'm going to attach the screen protectors on here. I have 3 of those for both sides, this side as well as that side. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the top. So clean it nicely. There we go, nice and clean. And there's 2 types of shapes. I'll take the square shape from here. Okay, so then I'm gonna put it on here. Align it. Okay, so it's actually pretty hard to align, so I'm going to take my time to do this. I tried putting the screen protectors on, but it's kind of difficult and it leaves a lot of bubbles. It's very, so I'm just going to not include the screen protectors, but you can add them if you want to. All right, so now we're going to attach these fans to this grill over here. We are going to have to remove these plastic covers. I'm just using this cable tie to help me do that. And here you still have some, in case you're wondering, here you still have some rubber to help with removing vibrations. Okay, so each one of these has some rubber in there to help remove vibrations. So now we will align this. We'll use the mounting screws provided with the fans. So let's see how it's gonna look. Let's test it out to make sure it looks okay. So this is what it would look like. I think it looks nice, and then I'm gonna probably put the cables here and run them through here. Okay, so in that case, let's do that now. See if it fits nicely before we put too many screws on. Okay, so I'm gonna take this wireless receiver and I'm gonna add it on one of the ends over here. Okay, so again, I'm gonna take the thick peg over here and put it in the wider opening, and the thinner peg is gonna go in the thinner opening here. So I'm gonna align them, push, and then slide towards me like that. So it locks. So slide towards me, so it locks into place. So that's good. And then on the other side, here, I'm gonna make sure to put this lock over here so that it doesn't short circuit the fence. So again, to do that, you align this peg with this opening here, and then push it towards me again, this way, and then it should stay in place. Right, now I'm gonna finish adding the rest of the screws to keep it mounted on this bracket. All right, so every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 screws have been added. And like I said, we're gonna route this, and then we're gonna use these cables to give it power. And one of these cables will go into the one of the 4-pin fan connections here on the motherboard, and the other one is gonna go into the SATA adapter here to provide enough power. Let's do that now. So I'm gonna take again one of these, the one that's closer to the fans. I'm gonna put connect to the 2 pins over here. There we go. And now I'm gonna connect this to a SATA connection. I'm gonna connect this to a SATA connection in the back. And this is gonna go into the motherboard in a power connection. Let's see over here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. So this is a fan connector here. So I'm gonna connect the other one over here. There we go. So one goes in the motherboard, one goes in the special connector, and then this gets connected to a SATA, so we provide enough power to our multi-fans here. If you have more than one fan, you need to provide additional power using this connection. Alright, so the bottom is connected. Actually, let me connect this to I'm gonna route this to the back, and later I'll connect it to a SATA. So now we're on the other side of the PC. We've transferred this cable onto the other side, and again, it's connected to the fans via this to provide extra power. And now we're gonna connect the SATA portion to a SATA power supply here. So this is the power supply, and this is this is going to the fans. Go ahead and connect it, son. This is actually going to be my son's computer, so he's helping pull it. All right, that's it. Easy. Now we're going to do the other fans. We have another 3 fans that are daisy chained, and so we need to connect them to here. Okay, but we'll get to that in a little bit. All right, so now that we have these non-LCD screen fans installed, we're gonna now install these LCD fans onto this grid over here. All right, we'll do the same. You use the same process. So let me get the grid and we'll get started. So now again, we're gonna remove the rubber gaskets here so that we can mount it onto the grill. Okay, there we go. So now we're gonna put the grill on top. Align the holes. Let's mount a few screws before we put it on, just to see how it looks. Let's go like this. Okay, we're gonna use again the provided screws. The provided mounting screws that came with the fans. Alright, so this is what it's gonna look like. Take a look. Right here actually. And each LCD will be displaying something different, so it's gonna be pretty cool. I think this is a good place. Okay, so we can continue to add the rest of the screws. Yeah, you don't want to over tighten these. Make sure you keep them nice and loose, or not too loose, of course, but this one needs a little more. Yeah, don't over tighten, guys. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now we're gonna add the power cable, the receiver, the wireless receiver, on the bottom in this case, and this is for the LCD fence. Just put that in here, show the line, push it in, and then push it that way. Okay, so since we have more than 2 fans, so first of all, we have 3 connectors we need to connect, right? So this is a USB, you need a USB on the motherboard to be able to connect this, USB 2.0, and you also need to connect these two, one of them goes to the motherboard, the other one goes to the SATA supply in the back that we already hooked up. Essentially, it's this one we hooked up earlier. We're gonna plug into one of the other ones. Okay? So again, USB on the motherboard, 4-pin fan connector on the motherboard, and the SATA power connector in the back that we connected earlier. Okay, so now we have it mounted, and then we're gonna route the cables to the back of the case. So we're in the back of the case again, and if you remember earlier, we connected the SATA connector with these 2-pin connectors. So what we're gonna do now is to that SATA connector to give power to the extra 2 fans that we added, because we have 3 daisy chains. So you have 2 or more fans, you need to provide additional power again. So we're gonna connect this to one of these 4-pin connectors to the SATA. All right, and now we're gonna connect the second fan connector to the motherboard and this USB to the motherboard. So I'm gonna route them on to the other side to connect them. So now we're on the other side. This here is the motherboard. We have a USB connector here and one fan connector here. So we're gonna take the USB, connect it to the USB, and take the fan and connect it to the fan. Go ahead, Alex. So again, USB and fan connection connected. So this should be good. And our LCD fans are also installed. And now we're gonna move on to the final and last connection, which is the, actually there's 2 more connections. We'll do the single fan as well as the controller, the wireless controller. Okay, let's finish it up. All right, so now it's time to connect the final fan. And this one is going to be sitting right back here, okay? Now we're gonna connect it, aligning the big and small pins. And pushing it that way. There we go, now it's connected. All right, let's pop out the rubber gaskets. Okay, now we're gonna mount it on the case. I guess don't forget to put the cover on top of here. This cover to protect these pins from short circuiting. There we go. All right, so here's the mounting screws. It's nicely mounted. Here's on the other side. Here are the bottom fans, and here are the LCD fans. All right, now we gotta hook up. This needs to be hooked up to the motherboard as well. So let's do that. So now let's connect the single fan to the motherboard via a fan connector, a 4-pin fan connector. So which is this one over here. There we go. Now we gotta connect the wireless controller. That will be the last step. And the wireless controller has 2 cables. We need to connect it to the motherboard via USB connection, USB 2.0, as well as a 4-pin fan connector. First, we're going to connect the USB to this USB over here. Make sure the orientation is correct. Go, double check. And now we're going to connect the 4-pin fan connector. Yes, so this is not a fan connector, so we need to connect it to a fan connector up. Power like right over here. So we're gonna route it through the back and connect it there. There we go. All right, so now that everything's connected, the last thing to do is to remove the protective covers. So go ahead, Alex. It's a very satisfying peel again. Actually, the final step would be to install everything, the software, and get it up and running. So that's what we're gonna do next. Whoa. Look at this bad boy.
Wowzers.
Now this is full power all the fans because right now we haven't really set up the software, but we'll go in a second. Alright everyone, so now we're gonna be installing the L-Connect 3 software for the Lian Li wireless fans. So to do that, open the browser, type lconnect 3 install. Here, go to the lconnect 3 Lian Li's website, and in here, this is the software. However, before you get to that, make sure you read this. You need to install Microsoft Visual C++. Make sure it's downloaded and installed. So to do that, if you have a 64-bit Microsoft or a x86 Microsoft Windows, choose one of the two to download, like so. Just open the file wherever it downloads to, and it should install it. Okay. Then after you do that, you choose one of these two, whichever one you want. Both should work. So we'll click on this one. What will happen is you get the screen, and it's gonna download the software. And once it does that, just run it, and it should install it. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so once you have the software installed, it should look something like this. So you get a screen like that. Let's make it bigger. And in here, you have the system info, essentially the CPU load, temperature, as well as clock rate. You also have the GPU load, and in this case, also you have the RAM. It's about 8.4 gigs, so 15.4 gigs is being used, and your storage currently. In the fan pump profile, here you can select what kind of a profile you want in terms of the temperature versus fan speed. So the higher the temperature, you want the faster fan speeds, right? And you can select whether this is the temperature is tied to the CPU temperature, or if you want the GPU or water temperature. So typically it's the CPU you want to tie it to. And then you could have different kinds of settings. You could have quiet, standard, high, full speed, and then you can create custom ones. So in the custom ones, you can make it a flat curve or multi-point, and you can move these points up and down any way you like to make it work for you. And for now, I'm just gonna, I'll select standard, and then as you can see now, this has the standard here. I can select quiet, and it's gonna change it to quiet for that specific set of fans. If I wanted to have two, quiet for this one and standard for that one, and then high for this one, right? I could change it if I wanted to. Or if I wanted all of them to be the same, I just click on this, whatever it is I want to, and then I click apply to all fans. So now all of them are standard. Okay. Now going on to this menu, quick sync lighting. So here, all of your fans can very quickly be, set to a single setting, as opposed to if you have multiple receivers, you can have individual settings. This will set it for all the receivers to be the same. You can control the speed of those light changes. Is it going to be changing the lights faster or slower? And how bright do you want those lights to be, at 100% or less brightness? So you can apply that to all of the fans in your system that are tied to this lconnect 3 software. Okay, and you have SL, AL, and SL infinity fans. Okay, so the choices you have here are multiple choices for the color scheme, and you have different selections as well as you choose different options. Okay, so let's move to the wireless utility. And under here, again, you have the 3 sets of wireless receivers that are connected to different number of fans. We have the 3 fans for receiver 1, the single fan for receiver 2, and receiver 3 is the 3 LCD fans. And we'll start with the 3 fans here. And what you do is you can select the fan profile, which is the speed here. If you click on the fan profile, you can change the type of configuration for the speed: quiet, standard, high, custom, and so on. If you click on the lighting effect, so I'll click on that, the lighting effect comes up, and you can modify that for that set of fence. And let's say I want to change it, I can go to reading, runway, so on, and then I would click apply, and I would apply it to that fence set. If I want to apply it to all the fence sets, I click on apply to all SO Infinity fence. Okay, and you can of course go to default if you wanted to. Click on this one, lighting sequence settings. You can come here and you can also take a look at that as well here. Okay, coming back to the utility. Okay, so now, and this also gives you some information about the fence themselves. They're 12 centimeter reverse blade, the current speed of the fence, and the current setting for the lighting. All right, so let's go to the second fan, which is the second receiver, which has a single fan. The same thing, you can change the fan profile, you can change the lighting. And then the third set of fans, where we have the LCDs, we have more options. We have the fan speed, we also have the lighting, but we also have the LCDs here. So if I click on the LCDs, now I have multiple choices here. So these are my LCDs. I have 1, 2, 3 of them. On the first LCD, I've chosen to have the CPU temperature. On the second LCD, I've put a GIF, and on the third LCD is the fan speed. Okay, and then if we select the first fan here, then what we can do is we can select what we want to show on there. Do we want to show one of the sensors, a video, a GIF, a picture, clock themes, animation? So you can select any of those. Let's see, if we take a picture, this is no picture at all. Right, so we just this. Or you could add a picture. You could upload one, or you could do a screen capture. So if I do a screen capture, I can put this picture over here, select, and then say check mark. Okay, import, and now it's going to show this here. And actually, this shows up on the LCD screen if you were to take a look at it. Okay, and then you can also do dynamic GIF. In this case, I have uploaded this one, but you can get more GIFs. You just have to go to this website called Giphy. Just type Giphy, search Giphy, and then go to this website. And here you can have multiple. You can choose one, download it, and add it to your profile here. So I'll go add, then I will choose the Giphy, click on it, and add it here. In this case, I've chosen this one. It's and then you can just click on that, and it will show up here as well. Or you could have nothing. Okay, then you can have a video. Same thing, add a video. You can upload it, you can add it on. Sensors, you have multiple sensors. You can have the CPU, GPU, CPU load. You can have the GPU load and the fan RPMs. For my son, I've chosen the CPU temp here, so you can take a look at it. And you can have different styles: style 1, style 2, style 3. Right, and then you can have different colors. Click on that and you can select, maybe you want it red. There we go, we just put the bucket here, now it's a red one. Let's go back to see what the other styles are. Style 4, style 5, style 6, ooh, very flashy. Style 7, even flashy. So the further you go down, the flashier it gets. Let's go back to style 1. There we go. Okay, and then you can also have a clock theme. You can show the time if you wanted to. It will look something like this, like that. Yeah, so it's just a different clock showing you the time, which is pretty cool. Okay, and then let's look at the last one, animation. You just choose an animation there. Go. I have two options here. Okay, but I'm gonna go back to sensors and I'm gonna put the CPU temp on there. Oh, and you can also change the text color here. You can make it, let's say, red. So the CPU color comes red. But I'll choose white and make it white again. So this is for the CPU color. You can also do the This is the color of the temperature itself, and then this is the color of the temp underneath. I'm gonna make everything purple now. There we go. You guys do it different so we know the difference. Let's make this green. This is top, middle, and bottom color for this setting here. But I'll make everything white again. Okay, anyway, you can play around with it quite a bit. All right. Yeah. And so another thing you could do is, let's say that your pictures are upside down, right? Because you can see this orientation here. You can change it. And the way it is this right here is where the cables are coming out. For mine, the cables are coming down from the bottom of the fan set. For yours, it might be coming from the top. If that's the case, you click this button here, and it will rotate it, and your fans might be this way, right? So the cables are coming out of here now. But if your cables are coming out from the top, you would need this orientation. For me now, this looks upside down on the screens if I look at them, because my cables are coming out from the bottom. So I'm going to rotate it again, and one more time, and now my screens look the right side up. Okay. You can also group those. Let's see what that does. Essentially, now you have only one. You can rotate this one. See, individually, you can rotate it any way you want, and the other ones stay the way they do. Honestly, I like this grouping because it gives you the most flexibility. You can turn any one of them the way you want, any orientation. Okay, so that's on this topic here. Now moving on to the next one, the sync setup. So before you do anything, actually, when you have your fans and wireless receiver set up, these will be unlinked. So it'll be like this. Let's see. I can unlink those now. These are all unlinked now. But what you want to do is you want to link all of them. So I'm going to click on them so that they're linked. 1, 2, 3. Now they're all linked. And I'm going to lock this so people don't unlink them. So all of these now are going to the same controller. Okay, so that way I can see them up here, all popping up. Okay. So again, there they are, same ones. So you want to make sure that again, these are blue. So click on those so they're linked, and you have 3 out of 10 receivers. We can add another 7 receivers if we wanted to the same controller that we just put in there. Okay. All right, and then there are some additional settings. You could have general settings, device, software. I'm not going to go into this now. You can also check for updates for your firmware. So you have the ELS wireless sync firmware as well as the LCD wireless firmware. So let's check. Check again here. And it looks like we're okay. You can just check all updates. So everything is the latest version. So we should be okay. Sensor settings. CPU temp is linked to the CPU package. You could also link it to the CPU or different, core. You can link it to a core and so on, but we'll keep it in the CPU package. And then CPU clock. What is that linked to? You can change that as well. A CPU load could be linked to the usage or utility. Power, you can choose any of those. Fan, these are the options. Voltage, got a lot of voltage options here. And NVIDIA, which graphics card. Yeah, we want to use the NVIDIA, not the Intel integrated. We want the dedicated card. Yeah, and so I'm gonna just get out of that. And that's it. All right, so here's the final product. It looks like all the fans are synced, and this is the rainbow configuration. And if we focus on the LCD screens, you see it looks really nice. We have on the top the CPU temperature, the bottom the RPM for the fan, and the little GIF that we added of Luffy here. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do hit the like and subscribe button, and until next time.